Wo geht es denn zur Autobahn? Das hier ist nicht die Autobahn. Where is the freaking Autobahn? Das ist die Autobahn. Freie Fahrt für freie Bürger. Alright, let's talk about the Autobahn. Well, this, of course, is not the Autobahn. You could easily tell that. This is just a 3-lane street in Carlsbad, California. But I'm originally from Germany, the land of the Autobahn. So in this video today, we just talk about the history of the Autobahn, and then in a different video we talk about what it really is to drive on the Autobahn today. Let's get started. So in today's video I want to talk about the Autobahn in Germany. You probably heard about the no speed limit highway in Germany, the famous Autobahn, where you can just go and haul ass and just drive as fast as you want. And first of all, I want to talk about the history, how we got there, and is the Autobahn today in 2020 really the same as you have heard about the Autobahn? So are there really no speed limits? What do you need to know about the Autobahn? In today's video, we're going to dive right into it and talk about all the details. So the first thing I really want to talk about is what is the Autobahn, what is the history, and then we get to the nitty-gritty detail about no speed limits and everything you can do on the Autobahn. So the German Autobahn is really the same type of highway system that we have here in the United States. Germany is a smaller country from a physical perspective, and the Autobahn was built to really connect the different parts of the country. But what is really the history behind it? So first of all, you need to know the Autobahn in Germany is really one of the very first highway systems as we know them today. And it's really a road connection that came with a very different purpose to light. So the construction really on, I want to say, the controlled or the managed system as we know it started in 1913. So right before the end of the, before the start of the World War I. And then the World War I delayed the actual opening of the new highway system until 1921. So the World War I ended in 1918. It took additional 3 years for Germany to recover the system and bring it to the point where it was ready for opening. So it was called the Automobil Verkehrs- und Übungsstraße, and translated that means Automobile Traffic and Training Road. And it was built outside of Berlin. Berlin was the capital of Germany, and it was really more like a race track, a test track. But it wasn't really the highway system as we know it today, but it was a start. So it was really something that people could build up on and imagine how it could look like down the road. So if you look at it from what it was really, it was like 2 straightaways bracketed by banked turns, and it was really a divided roadway, just like you know it from the highway system here in the United States today. So the actual planning for the Autobahn began in the mid-1920s. With automobiles and the development after World War I, there was really a need to connect the country more and more. And it started with a new highway built between Cologne, Köln, and Bonn, which is not too far away, but it was really a connection that had a lot of traffic going on the smaller roads, and building a highway, the Autobahn here, really made sense. So this road opened up in 1932, and it stayed isolated until about 1933. In 1933, the Nazis came into power, and well, there was already the larger plan that they had in regards to the use of the Autobahn. So, and when Adolf Hitler realized the potential of this highway system, that's really when the Autobahn system was born, I want to say. And the Nazis spent a lot of time and effort then to build out the highway system, especially connecting towards the east, where they wanted to go into Poland and the area, Russia, and the Baltic countries. So at the same time, they were also looking at, okay, we need some sort of a vehicle, a people's car, a Volkswagen, a VW in a certain way. And so that whole idea started shaping, and the Nazis, like I said, put a lot of effort behind it and started building it out. So the construction started. It was initially called the Autobahn. Reich means like from the stop, cut. What is Kaiser? So it was called the Autobahn. First, Autobahn comes from the emperor, the German Kaiser that was no longer in power at that point, but the terminology was still used, and plus Hitler called Germany and the countries that he wanted to own later on the Reich, the German Reich. So they built out the roads. The working conditions were not the best. Germany was still suffering from the big depression. It was really a bad time, a lot of people unemployed. Those people then found work by working on the Autobahn and building the streets. But it's hard work. As you know, building a highway or a road is not just like a white-collar job. So even then, with a lot of unemployed people, it was not necessarily easy to find enough people to work on it. So the Nazis also needed workers to build a lot of military assets, weapons, ammunition. So the country was really stretching a little bit at that time, but it continued on. When World War II started, the Nazis continued to build the Autobahn until 1943. At that point, in the middle of the war, when the war was shifting and the Nazis had to retreat, they had built about 1,300 miles of roadway. And this is fully completed. So just like you know, the highway system, it was ready to go. So in 1945, Germany was defeated. The road network was partially heavily damaged. And so the country had to do something about it. They realized we still need this even after the war. We don't want to attack any other countries, but the system was in bad shape. So the first thing they did that the Germans decided, okay, we need to change the name. It's no longer the Autobahn. They called it the Autobahn. Germany called itself after 1949 the Bundesrepublik of Germany, Federal Republic of Germany. And so they started fixing the highways, the Autobahn. A lot of bombs from the Allied forces had destroyed bridges and certain areas specifically related to where manufacturing was for weapons. So there was a lot of damage that needed to be fixed. The Germans then really went and decided, okay, we use this. We built this out really the right way. And so the repair of the existing road network began. And by 1953, the West German government really began also on focusing to expand it. They realized with the fast growth that Germany was experiencing at that time, they needed to expand this road system. And so the Autobahn really expanded into other areas of the country where they didn't have many roads up to that point. So by 1964, the system had grown from originally 1,300 miles to over 1,860 miles. And in 1984, it was actually almost 5,000 miles of roadway that the Germans had built. In 1990, Germany reunited with East Germany, West Germany, East Germany. The war came down in 1989, as you know. So the whole system now was almost 7,000 miles, 6,835 miles. And in East Germany, it was a very different story. East Germany had never spent as much money on the roadways, and so the roads were in bad shape. They also had significantly different type of cars. So they had a speed limit of 100 kilometers, and roughly 65 miles per hour. And so they simply decide with the speed limit, the cars cannot go as fast, so we don't have to keep the roads in the best conditions because there's simply not the need for a better performing road. So with the reunification, that changed. West Germany had the great Autobahn system, East Germany did not. And so the new German government decided to pour a lot of money into East Germany, into the infrastructure of East Germany, and that included the Autobahn. So they went and they started fixing the roads and brought them up to the same standard as in West Germany. And by 2004, it really became the third largest superhighway system in the world. Only the United States with the interstate system and China have larger highway systems compared to Germany. But Germany didn't stop in 2004. They continued expanding the system and now has over 8,000 miles of Autobahn in Germany. Yeah, don't do what I'm doing here right now, passing on the right, in case you are driving on the Autobahn. On the German Autobahn, you are not allowed to pass a car on the right. It's highly illegal. If the police catches you, you can get a big fine and you will get points onto your driver's record. So don't do that in Germany. So in this video, I talked about the history of the German Autobahn. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. There's also the little icon for the notification bell, so you get notified when I upload new videos. So please select it as well. And then I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.